The Perseverance rover found organic compounds in the crater Jezero. Analyses of rock samples taken from the Martian crater Jezero, where the Perseverance rover landed, points to interactions between rocks and liquid water results from new research. Moreover, in the rocks studied traces suggesting the presence of organic compounds were also found. Scientists managing the Perseverance rover mission on Mars, they published their analyses of rock samples from the Jezero crater in Science. These studies reveal evidence of rock interactions with liquid water. Scientists found also signatures that may indicate the presence of organic compounds. Organic matter has already been found on Mars. Earlier he came across it, among others, Curiosity rover or recently Perseverance. Unions organic are not direct evidence of existence on the red planet in life's past. They may as well arise in processes non-biological. However, a more detailed study of these compounds may reveal more information about the history of water on Mars and whether red in the ancient past, the planet may have had conditions for the development of life. But for this you would need to deliver the collected samples to Earth. The Perseverance rover previously found organic matter in Jezero crater. Scientists believe that the crater is about 45 kilometers wide. Jezero, from 3.5 to 3.9 billion years ago, filled almost 500 deep meters of the lake, which was connected to a nearby river. It is located north from the Martian equator on the western edge of Icities Planitia Plains, located within a giant impact basin. Scholars are convinced that the place was once a river delta that could collect along the way and accumulate possible organic molecules and other potential signs in the sediment's microbiological life. That's why they decided to land there. Scientists are particularly interested in the delta because such the formations may promote the settlement of possible microorganisms. When water in the river it enters the lake and slows down, allowing the sediment collected along the way to fall on bottom, retaining any microorganisms that could potentially be in it to exist. However, the crater floor surprised researchers. Scientists expected most of the sedimentary rocks are found there. However, when the rover collected the samples turned out to have hit igneous rocks that form deep beneath surface or during volcanic activity. It turned out that most of them, the rocks at the crater floor, are igneous, not sedimentary. Now researchers have reported new discoveries. Rocks found igneous ones contain minerals that have recorded contact with water. These minerals, such as carbonates and salts, they are deposited during the circulation of liquid water, which it carves various niches and pockets where dissolved minerals are deposited. Some of these crevices and cracks have been noticed by scientists as evidence of the presence of organic substances. Using the Sherlock, scanning habitable, instrument environments with Raman and luminescence for organics and chemicals, an international team led by planetary scientist Eva Scheller of Caltech and MIT, he conducted a probe of igneous rocks at the bottom of the crater. Mounted on the robotic arm of the Sherlock rover is equipped with a number of tools, including a Raman spectrometer that uses a specific type of fluorescence for searching for organic compounds, as well checks how they are arranged in the material. Scientists focused on 3 samples downloaded from 2 different locations. They found changes in them that they believed they were formed during contact with water. Moreover, researchers found evidence of 2 types of change, suggesting the existence of 2 distinct aquatic environments in various periods in the distant past of the red planet. As scientists point out in the publication, reactions with liquid water led to a period between 3.8 up to 2.7 billion years ago to the formation of carbonates and igneous rocks rich in olivine. Later, about 2.6 to 2.3 billion years ago, salt water may have triggered formation of perchlorates in rocks. Both carbonates and perchlorates require water. It entered the rocks, dissolving and depositing minerals in depressions carved by water erosion. The water is unlikely to touch rocks since the deposition of perchlorates because they dissolve easily. In all three rocks, the team found signatures indicating hydrocarbons aromatic similar to benzene. They appear to be preserved in minerals related to both aquatic environments, scientists say, but you can't tell me what they are. To carefully analyze the collected samples, they would need to be analyzed test in laboratories with advanced equipment. Then you could definitely determine the presence and type of organic substances and whether they have something common with life. I hope that one day these samples will stay delivered to Earth so we can look at the evidence for water and possible organic matter and investigate whether the conditions were suitable for the development of life in the early history of Mars, says geochemist Mark Sefton from Imperial College London. Part of the Perseverance mission is to take samples from particularly interesting-looking places. Each of them goes to a special titanium storage vessel. More in the future missions that will be able to make a round trip or send them from the surface of the red planet, they will take them to Earth. When will this happen? This not known yet. Initial plans suggest a 2026 to 2031 mission launch date. The largest plant in the world found off the coast Australia. It covers an area of 180 kilometers and is 4.5 thousand years old. A meadow covering an area of over 180 square kilometers seagrass growing on the seabed off the coast of Australia has been recognized as the largest plant in the world. By analyzing DNA taken from different ends of the meadow, scientists were amazed to find that it was actually one plant that it has been cloning continuously for almost 4,500 years. Australian scientists have located what they claim to be the largest plant on Earth. They estimate that it grows on the seabed in the Gulf Shark on the west coast of Australia. Seagrass, Posidonia australis, has CO at least 4,500 years. This ancient and extremely hardy stretching plant, it was located on 180 square kilometers by scientists from University of Western Australia and Flinders University. The discovery is described in Proceedings of the Royal Society B. The discovery occurred accidentally. Scientists wanted to know how genetically diverse are the seagrass meadows in Shark Bay and how they should be acted to protect them. We are often asked how many different plants grow among the seagrass meadows. This time we used genetic tools to get them answer, says Dr. Elizabeth Sinclair from the University of Western Australia. The team collected samples of seagrass shoots from various locations in Shark Bay with different salinity. Genetic analyses revealed that the whole meadow is actually one organism. The answer blew us off our feet. It's one plant, says Jane Edgelow from the University of Western Australia, the main one author of the study. One plant grew over an area of 180 kilometers in the Bay Sharks, which makes it the largest known plant on Earth, he adds. Further analysis showed that unlike other grasses, Marine P. australis in this area is actually cloned via an underground network of branched roots. The plant forms a genetically identical one regrowth via an underground stem or rhizome, which it then develops own roots and stem. Looking from the surface, in this case with sandy seabed, seagrass clumps look like separate specimens, but at the genetic level it is one large plant. A similar organism is the pando growing in Utah, USA, a forest of genetically identical aspen poplar trees, Populus tremuloides, which it is considered one of the oldest organisms living on our planet. Each of the approximately 47,000 trees has the same genetic material and is connected to others through a complex root system called polycormon. The plant is also notable for its toughness. P. australis seems to be very resilient, experiencing wide temperature and salinity range and extremely high conditions lighting that together would be very stressful for most plants. Sinclair highlights. Tolerance to extreme environmental conditions may have something to do with the fact that P. australis has twice as many chromosomes as her relatives, which means it is a polyploid organism. Mostly in cases, a seagrass seedling inherits half of each parent's genome. However, polyploids carry the entire genome. The new seedling contains 100% of the genome every parent, instead of sharing the usual 50%, says Sinclair. Plants' polyploids are often found in places with extreme conditions. Environmental, they are often sterile, but can continue to grow. If they do not grow, it will be disrupted. Adds. Based on the size of the plant and its growth rate, scientists they determined the approximate age of the organism. This species generally grows at a rate of up to 35 centimeters per year. In this way, they estimated that the growth to its current size it took the plant at least 4,500 years.